for licence fee money. And they're able to do that trading under the name the BBC. Hi, it's me again, and yeah, there's another petition about the TV licence fee. So cue my standard response to this petition thing. But we'll have a quick look at it anyway. I'm not going to bang on for ages because regular viewers will know where I'm going with this. But there's another petition, another one. Look, abolish TV licence fee petition gets thousands of signatures as government responds. The petition gained more than 15,000 signatures, exceeding the threshold to trigger a government response. So if you file a petition on the government's website for that sort of thing, when you get to 10,000, they're inclined to respond. If you get to 100,000, they may debate it in Parliament. No guarantees of it, but they may. But at 10,000, you get a copy and paste response. And there's been more than enough abolish the TV licence fee petitions on the government website for them to just have a standard copy and paste response to that now. And the fact that there's been so many and we're still paying the licence fee tells you everything you need to know about filing a petition to abolish the TV licence fee on the government website. They don't care about you, how many signatures you get, or what you want. They don't care. The Department for Culture, Media and Sport responded by indicating that the fee will remain for the duration of this charter, which expires in 2027, but also recognised the challenges posed by the current model. It added that the government is actively exploring methods to ensure that the funding for the BBC is both fair and sustainable. They often say that. They're exploring funding methods that are fair and sustainable for the BBC, not fair and sustainable for you, the poor people in the country. How's that right? The only fair and sustainable way for the BBC to be funded going forwards is show ads. All the other channels manage it. ITV's turnover now isn't far off the 3.7 billion quid a year the BBC get from TV licence fees. So where's the argument to keep the licence fee then? If ITV can do it, why can't you, BBC? They never talk about it. Every time they come up with ideas for new funding methods for the BBC, they might talk about subscriptions sometimes, not often, but they do talk about putting it on your council tax, on your broadband bill, having some kind of media levy. I've never once heard the government discuss the future funding of the BBC as being commercial, which is the obvious one to do. The statement reads, the BBC is a great national institution, maybe once upon a time, making a unique contribution to the UK. Oh yeah, the contribution the BBC makes is very unique. Very unique. Some of the previous scandals that have befell the BBC been terribly unique. That's how I would describe the institution of the BBC, yes. The government wants it to have a successful future, continuing to play its important role in producing compelling programmes. When did they last produce a compelling programme? In fact, they're making cuts across the board for everything. That's quite compelling. Contributing to our thriving creative industries, yes, the BBC does. But not the BBC you pay your licence fee to. That's done by BBC Studios, which is making great waves in the creative industries, buying up independent television and film production companies around the country, either buying them completely or buying big shares in them, but leaving them branded as the independent so that you don't know that that's actually the BBC now. And they're making great money all around the world, selling their shows, syndicating them, making them and selling them to the BBC that you pay your licence fee to for licence fee money. And they're able to do that trading under the name the BBC. And how that works, I don't know. Talked about it before, still don't know. We also want to see the BBC continuing to provide high quality and impartial news to global audiences through the World Service, which is currently funded in part by the licence fee. It doesn't have the ratings. Why do you need the World Service? It makes no sense. It's just propaganda spreading around the world. If the government want to put their own propaganda out, let them do it on a little thing called the internet. The World Service costs about 300 million quid a year to keep going. That is pretty much the same amount that the BBC is underwater each year in its finances. Yeah, I think that's pretty much ran over for me on this one. You know my point I'm trying to make on it. And every time I make one about the petitions, I chuck in this clip, because a petition a few years ago did get 100,000 signatures and was debated in Parliament. Regular viewers would have seen this clip, that's why I'm putting it at the end. If you haven't seen it, watch this clip.
It is the case, Mrs Moon, that a number of people who have signed these petitions or who have emailed me are still concerned that they have to pay the licence fee. Their argument is that in an age when subscription services and streaming services are the norm, they do not see why they should have to pay for another service, and they also think that the licence fee is too high. However, they make the point, and it is a fair one, that the licence fee is a regressive tax, and that cannot be got away from. The recent Ipsos Mori poll this year showed that 49% of people are in favour of funding the BBC through the licence fee. In fact, other polls show that support for the licence fee has actually risen over time. But there is another important point about the licence fee, I think, and that is that it helps preserve BBC independence. It protects it, most of the time at least, from political interference. And even in a time when trust in institutions is declining, it is still the most trusted news provider. When I'm watching BBC News, they are trying to get to the truth, however imperfectly.
There you go then. You think the government want to abolish the TV licence fee? I don't, and we don't have time now. The BBC is, it's going to be 2024 soon. The charter expires in 27. The BBC will say, if you want us to go commercial, we're going to need at least 5 years to do that. We don't have time. The licence fee will get extended. There will be another extension. Will it be 10 years as normal? Will it be 5 years? Don't know. Wait and see. But the best way to fight it isn't petitions. It's getting as many people to cancel their licence fee and stop paying the BBC directly. That's where we'll get change. Let me know your thoughts on all this down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Hit the buttons while you're down there. Hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything to do so. And if you do so, hopefully I'll see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.